Hey, what's up guys? Bitcoin just smashes an all-time high one after another. In this video, I will show you the proof that big whales buying more and more Bitcoin. Then we will take a look at what price Bitcoin might finish the year of 2020. Bitcoin is going nuts right now. The best present for Christmas is to see Bitcoin at all-time high. I think Santa also owns some BTC. He has been very generous for this year. On the more serious note, Bitcoin just broke today an all-time high more than $25,000. I think this is a huge milestone. Next big milestone is $30,000. In the mid-November till mid-December, Bitcoin has been fluctuating sideways at around $18,000. Then the price formed this symmetric triangle. Then Bitcoin broke out higher till $23,000. It started fluctuating once again, and the price formed a similar ascending triangle. Now we broke out from that triangle as well. Currently, Bitcoin is at new price discovery mode. I am not going to be surprised if we see $26,000 and even $27,000 in the next few days. Bitcoin is the real serial killer, walking through all-time high like it's nothing. Smashed 23,000, smashed 24,000, just smashed 25,000, and knocking at the door at $26,000. The battle is currently taking place. Bitcoin knocked down 26k. Let's see if those 26k will be able to recover. I doubt it though. Here is another interesting fact. Number of Bitcoin addresses holding at least one Bitcoin on Christmas Eve almost every year makes an all-time high. Except that 2018, this is where the bear market took over. In 2017, during the bull market, there was at around 730,000 BTC addresses with at least one BTC in it. In 2018, when the price starts to decline, the number of addresses slightly dropped till 700,000. In 2019, that number reached till 790,000. And in 2020, a new all-time high, 850,000 Bitcoin addresses holding at least one Bitcoin. Meaning, if you have at least $25,000 in BTC right now, you're part of that number. Comment below right now if you are one of those 850,000 Bitcoin addresses with at least one Bitcoin in it. Unlike retail investors and small institutions that use crypto exchanges, large institutions and whales usually trade Bitcoin through the OTC market. That's why the large transactions won't move the prices the way they would have if those whales used even larger centralized exchanges. One reason that's the case is OTC transactions are not really transparent compared with trades on exchanges. Without transparent data on OTC transactions, it is difficult to track or gauge the side of this crypto market. However, this metrics is monitored by blockchain analyst firm CryptoQuant that provides an idea of what is happening in crypto OTC market and could give us a clue that in coming weeks and even months, more large institutions and big whales may come out to disclose their Bitcoin positions. According to this chart, when massive Bitcoin outflow takes place in Coinbase Pro, it tends to go to the Coinbase owned cold wallet for custody that holds thousands of BTC. The Bitcoin outflow spiked on September 2020. Around 14,000 BTC were moved to the cold storage. Then also we saw a massive Bitcoin rally after that. Just recently, we saw another Bitcoin outflow spike. Now, more than 13,000 BTC were moved to the cold storage. Bitcoin rallied once again. Coinbase Pro helps big whales and big institutions to buy Bitcoin over the counter, and therefore the price is not being impacted in the market. But there is less and less Bitcoin becomes available in the market. As demand picks up, the price picks up as well. Now let's take a look at this chart. This is logarithmic Bitcoin price action divided by 3 Bitcoin halving that have happened so far. Also, we have these colorful boxes: bull, bear, accumulation, expansion, and reaccumulation. It's basically a representation of a market cycle. First Bitcoin halving took place on November 2012. This is when Bitcoin reward dropped from 50 BTC per block till 25 BTC. In the bull phase, Bitcoin increased from $10 till $1,200. That's going to be around 12,000% increase in just 1 year. Then Bitcoin entered into the bear market. Bitcoin dropped by 84% in 2015. The bottom was slightly less than $200. This is when we enter into accumulation phase. BTC was fluctuating at around $200 for a few months. until we enter into the expansion and reaccumulation phase. In those two phases, Bitcoin increased from $200 till $700 before the second Bitcoin halving. From $200 till $700, that's going to be 250% increase. On July 11, 2016, Bitcoin block reward dropped once again. It went from 25 BTC per block till 12.5 BTC. And as a consequence to that, we enter into the bull market. This retail frenzy driven bull market, Bitcoin skyrocketed from $700 till $19,600 by the end of 2017. That's going to be 2,700% gains. After retail frenzy bubble burst, Bitcoin entered into the bear market. It dropped from $19,600 till $3,200, and it's going to be another 84% drop once again. In accumulation phase, Bitcoin was fluctuating in between $3,000 and $4,000. Then, in expansion and accumulation phase, Bitcoin increased till $8,500. That's going to be slightly more than 100% increase. Bitcoin halving took place on May 11th, 2020, just earlier. So officially, since May 11th, we are in the bull market. So far, we have reached more than $25,000, and it's going to be more than 200% increase. In 2013, in the bull market, Bitcoin gained 12,000%. In 2017, Bitcoin gained 2,700%, and so far we only gained 200%. We need 1,000% gains for Bitcoin to reach $100,000 per coin, and we need 2,200% gains for Bitcoin to reach $2,000 per coin in this bull market. Just recently, Max Keiser had a great interview where he was explaining why Bitcoin is going up and what is his Bitcoin price target. But first, let's take a look while he was criticizing Peter Schiff for being such a dummy. Let's take a look.
Getting to that exchange between Saylor and Elon Musk, and I know Peter Schiff went on Twitter saying, well, people are forgetting the second half of that convo where, yes, at first Elon Musk expressed some interest. Saylor said, do your shareholders a $200 billion favor. Elon Musk later tweeted, well, no, Bitcoin, I think, is BS, just like fiat money. Where does the truth lie there, Max, in your opinion? I know you didn't speak to Elon Musk directly, but where do you think it lies?
Right. Well, the learning curve for Bitcoin, everyone is on it at their own speed. So for me, I got it in 2011. Michael Saylor looked at it in 2013. He didn't understand it. It took him 5 or 6 years to really figure it out. We've got Elon Musk is now looking at it, and because he's a smart guy, he'll get orange pilled, as we call it, and he'll understand what's going on here, and he'll jump in. Peter Schiff, he's in denial. Basically, he's a fiat money addict, and like a heroin addict or a drug addict, you can't do anything about it until Peter Schiff bottoms. Until he hits fiat money bottom, he's not gonna be able to help himself. And there's nothing anyone can do to help Peter Schiff. He has to hit bottom. He has to realize he's been dead wrong. For the 10 years I've been telling him to buy Bitcoin since it was $1. I was at his house in Westport, Connecticut over Christmas a few years ago when it was under $100. I begged him and his son, who heard about it, who's now buying Bitcoin. And I told him to buy it at $1,000. I've been telling him to buy it for 10 years. But he hasn't hit bottom yet. And it's very, very sad to see somebody like that destroy their life, destroy their career. But that's, some people they just can't get it. They can't get it. They can't get Bitcoin sober.
And it's an open invitation. I'd love to have you and Peter Schiff both on.
I've debated him several times.
I know.
Every time I just beat him
as the moderator.
It's like he doesn't have any arguments. He's never studied even for 5 minutes anything about Bitcoin. He cannot make an intelligent argument about it. He simply says, he just mouths, platitude. He just says silly things, and he's an addict. It's like arguing with a heroin addict to take the needle out of your arm, Peter. It's a really bad idea. He goes, no, just one more shot, just one more shot. Right? There's no way you can get someone like that to come around and help themselves. And sometimes, some of us have to die. So that others can live. We can't get overly sentimental about Peter Schiff. If he wants to go down with the fiat money ship, there's nothing we can do about it. I've spent all the time I'm ever going to spend trying to help Peter Schiff from obliterating his career and his life. And I'm not going to spend any more time on Peter Schiff. I got 10,000 people in my Telegram group from all over the world who are buying $10 and $20 of Bitcoin every day, and their lives are improving. They're supporting their families. They're getting an education. They're escaping the hyperinflation in Venezuela, and they're escaping poverty in Cuba. Those are the people we need to focus on. Don't focus on this bloated fiat money idiot who is simply trying to get attention by pretending to be even stupider than he really is.
All right,
It's
okay.
such a waste of time.
I would really love to see Peter Schiff debating Michael Saylor. That would be so much fun. Michael Saylor has the best Bitcoin analogies I have ever seen. Very smart guy. Now let's take a look at this clip where Max Keiser talks about this bull market run and his Bitcoin price prediction.
First, what's behind the rally here, Max? Is it longer term investors who are hedging against a weaker US dollar, scare of inflation, or is it just
let me explain, what's going on from kind of an insider's perspective, inside ball, if you want to know. I mean, you've got a pretty sophisticated audience, so let me tell you what's really going on. You got to compare it to what happened back in 1992 when George Soros attacked the British pound and the Bank of England. And he broke the Bank of England, if you recall, and he made a quick $1 billion. Stan Druckenmiller was the architect of that. And right now, what we're seeing is a similar thing going on with Bitcoin. And what Michael Saylor figured out, and now possibly Elon Musk and others, I think Larry Ellison's going to get involved, is they have the Federal Reserve Bank and other central banks in a very precarious position because those banks have artificially pushed interest rates down to these extraordinary levels of almost zero, and 18.4 trillion are now negative. So, and if they can borrow, as Saylor did at 75 basis points just now for 650 million, and buy Bitcoin, they are in a position of a speculative attack on the Federal Reserve Bank. Make no mistake about this. Michael Saylor and the Bitcoiners are attacking the Federal Reserve Bank and the global central banking system as Soros did to the Bank of England. That's kind of the template that's being used globally. That's the inside ball. That's why Bitcoin, you could very easily see it trade to $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a coin pretty quickly because the central banks have left themselves open to this arbitrage, to this attack. And it's on. The game is on now, and no one is pretending that this is not happening anymore. Jerome Powell and these other banks are not going to raise rates. That's the bet on Bitcoin right now. That's the multi-$100 trillion bet being made on Bitcoin right now, that the central banks will not raise rates. And as long as they keep lowering rates, and as long as rates keep going negative, then the Bitcoin trade is an asymmetric bet. It's a one-way bet, and it's got almost virtually no top. I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars per coin or higher. Even, JP Morgan just came out with an estimate of $650,000 per Bitcoin. Citibank is estimating $300,000 per Bitcoin. So I think they kind of see what's happening here. They want to get ahead of it. They want some exposure to it, but nothing's going to stop this now. The central banks, they thought they had the game completely rigged with their collusion, the global banks all working together to keep and not only to keep fiat money viable beyond its term, but to attack gold, as we know. JP Morgan, how many fines have they paid for gold manipulation? Innumerable fines. And we see that in all the big banks, the bullion banks. And they thought they had it made. They thought that they would escape. But Michael Saylor and others figured out that they've got this vulnerability. And the game is on. I got into Bitcoin as part of my efforts, with Stacy going back many years now. The global insurrection against banker occupation is what we called it. We've talked about the dangers of fiat money and central banking for a number of years. And Bitcoin was obvious to me back in 2011 that this could be an escape route. And now we've got the likes of Michael Saylor, possibly Elon Musk, Paul Tudor Jones over there in his hedge fund. He's now piling on. Stan Druckenmiller, the architect of the Bank of England raid, has made positive comments on Bitcoin. Ray Dalio was a skeptic. Now he's kind of neutral. I think Ray Dalio will put 20% of his portfolio into Bitcoin in the next few months. Particularly since his performance has been pretty bad for 2020, he needs to get back in the race here. He needs some alpha. Ray needs alpha.
Bitcoin hitting its new record here as we're about to end 2020. Is it worthy of the title, Max Keiser?
Right. Well, I guess it was 2 years ago. I said it was going to close out 2020 at 28,000. So that looks pretty good. I haven't unveiled my 2021 prediction officially yet, but I will do so probably in the next week
Max
or so.
Keiser believes Bitcoin will finish this year at around $28,000 per coin. We have only a few days left. I think Max Keiser can nail this. We are very close to surpass $26,000. Then we can even hit $27,000 and $28,000 in just a matter of few days. Overall, great call by Max. Let me know, what do you guys think? Can Bitcoin finish this year at $28,000, or it's a bit optimistic? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash that like button and subscribe for more videos.